Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Absolutely gorgeous winter's day out today, and a lovely day to be out riding the brilliant BMW R nineT. Now I've been riding this bike an awful lot today, sadly I've got to take it back to the dealers very soon. But just before I do, I thought it was time for just one last ride out and let you know the top 5 things that I absolutely love about the BMW R nineT. So stick around and stay tuned. Now, I've been lucky enough to ride a number of the R nineT variants over the last year or so, having ridden the Scrambler, the Racer, the Urban GS, and now this, which is the standard bike, which is actually the top of the range machine, the, in quotes, vanilla R nineT. I really love it, and I did a review on this bike earlier, so if you haven't seen that review, then do go and have a watch of that video after you've seen this one, where I give you the lowdown on the bike, the specs, how she handles, etc. Now at the end of that review, it was quite clear that I really do love the bike. There are a number of things about the bike that make me love it so much, so I wanted to share those with you. So at number 5 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the BMW R nineT is its light handling. Now given it's not a particularly lightweight bike at 222 kilograms wet, it's really is an agile machine, and that I think is largely because of the boxer engine that of course it has, which carries its centre of gravity really low and therefore makes the bike really easy to handle. It looks a big old heavy beast when you look at it, but actually when you jump on and start riding, the handling is absolutely beautiful. Feels much more like a lightweight bike. Now it's a very cold day today and there's still bits of ice on the road, so I'm not going to push it, but it just feels a lovely machine to ride. I know it's a sort of a classic looking machine, a retro machine if you like, but it feels nothing like a retro bike when you ride it. It feels thoroughly modern and the handling reflects that. So that's number 5 on the list. The lightness of handling on the machine is just really, really nice. So to number 4 then on the list of things that I love about the R nineT, and it's this. It's the lovely smooth power delivery that the bike has. Even though it's got the old school boxer engine, the engine that predates the current liquid cooled machine, it's still very, very nice engine indeed. But when you wind her up, given it's a big old capacity twin, it does feel nice and smooth. It's got a great character about it. There is a bit of rock and roll when you're ever up, when you're sat at the traffic lights or whatever, and I quite like that. That's character in a good way. But actually when you're on these faster roads like this, she just winds up, picks up a skirt and goes. It's an amazing, amazing machine in terms of the power delivery. I mean, it feels fast to me. Given my GS has the more modern version of the engine, that feels nowhere near as quick. This thing really has no lack of power. I really do like that smooth power delivery. So that's number 4 on my list of the top 5 things that I love about the BMW R nineT, the smooth power delivery. It really is quite surprising for a machine that looks like this, just quite how well she goes. So to number 3 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the BMW R nineT, I've already mentioned it once, and it's something that often when people mention it, it's said in a bad way, because it's meant to say that it's covering up bad flaws in a bike. But number 3 on my list is the character of the bike. The thing just has loads of it. Not only does it look amazing and has the character in terms of its sort of styling and its retroness, but the engine as well just has got a lovely sound to it. It's got that rock and roll nature of when you're at a standstill. I'm going to give it a try here now. I'm going to stop even though I don't need to. And when you're just sat here at a junction where you rev it, you've got that torque reaction. The bike goes to the right as I rev it because of the gyroscopic forces. It's just brilliant. Now why that should be a good thing, I don't know, but it just adds to the overall feel when you're on the bike. This is one of those feel-good bikes. It's just a bit of an occasion to ride it, and you know, well, I think I know, that as you ride it, people are looking at the bike thinking, oh, that's a nice machine. At least I like to think so. It's a bit like the feeling I get when I ride in my Ducati Panigale. It's a bit of an occasion to ride one of these. And I put a lot of that down to the fact that it's a characterful bike. So that's number 3 on my list of the top 5 things I love about the BMW R nineT. Its character, and that's meant in a really good way. How can you not like England? Look at this lovely town. So we're getting to the important stuff now. Let's do number 2 on my list of the top 5 things that I love about the BMW R nineT. And number 2 is one of those features that it shares actually with things like the Triumph Bonneville and indeed I think the new Kawasaki Z900 RS. There's the job that BMW have done on the fit and finish on this bike. These retro machines, like the Bonneville and the Kawasaki and this, have just, the styling on them is just beautiful. They've done some great things with just the quality of the machine. So in the case of the R9T, for example, the fuel tank has this amazing brushed aluminium finish. The paintwork is lustrous. Things like, you know, the little part of the frame near the seat is just finished off with some lovely quality design finishes. The clocks look completely in keeping with the machine. Just little bits and pieces around the bike where they've really thought about the sort of design and the fit and finish. So that's number 2 for me of my top 5 things I love about the R9T. That's the overall quality of the fit and finish and just the attention to detail that they've given to those things. It really is a lovely piece of kit to own. It's one of those bikes that when you open the garage door and you see it there, you just sort of want to look at it, and it gives you a warm glow inside that it's sat in your garage. Okay, it's time to cue that drum roll then, because we're coming to number 1 on my list of the top 5 things that I love about the BMW R9T. And number 1 on the list is quite simply the stunning looks of the bike. The bike just hits it out the park, to quote our American cousins, in terms of the design and the look. I think BMW have done a really beautiful job on the standard R9T, and indeed on the whole family, be it the Racer, the Scrambler, the Pure. The whole lot just look really, really beautiful. This particular one's got this groovy heritage paint job on it, and looks really nice. And it just, as I said before, it's just one of those bikes that gives you a huge kind of pride of ownership, I think. I'd be very happy to have one of these in the garage, and it'd be a bike that stood alongside my Panigale as one that I just occasionally go into the garage and just stand and look at for a bit, because it's just beautifully made, beautifully designed, looks great. I mean, goodness me, how far have BMW come in the motorcycling world? 20 years ago they were sort of seen as the staid touring bike manufacturers, weren't they, and you know, had lots of jibes thrown at them. These days they're ahead in pretty much all of the categories of biking, be it sports bikes, retros, nakeds, the lot. And the R9T is no exception. They've done a really good job of the design on this, so hats off to the guys who did the design. So that's number 1 on my list, just the overall looks of the bike. Really, really love the looks of this machine. So there we have it then. That's my top 5 list of the things I love about the R9T. As you gathered, I've really gelled with this bike. It's a bike, probably, if I were to come up with a list of the top 5 bikes actually that I wanted to buy or would have in my garage next, this would certainly be in that list. And it's an exclusive list. I've ridden quite a lot of bikes. I've been lucky enough to do so in the last year or two. And you know, there are an awful lot of good bikes out there, but few that really grab you, where you think, oh, this is a really nice bike. Well, the R9T, for me, fits into that category. Really do like it. Alright, hope that's been of some interest to you, and I can't wait to speak to you next time. Until then, this has been the Mist and Fly. Cheerio.